Good morning from Ketchikan here on the southeastern coast of Alaska, and welcome to Creek Street behind me. Creek Street is the most historic part of what is known as the first city of Alaska for two reasons. One, it's the first city you come to in Alaska from the southern states, and also it is the most historic city that still exists in Alaska today. It's based on an island called Visitng Island. I had to check that. And it was first settled properly in August 1900 by an Oregon-based cannery, so fish cannery, who came here to see if there were fish, and there were lots of salmon that swim through the creek that we'll go and explore in a bit. So him and somebody from Newfoundland in Canada came and started a settlement here with the support of the US government at the time, because this wasn't too long after the Alaska purchase from Russia, and the US government was really keen on populating Alaska to make the purchase worth it. So this is Ketchikan Creek. So in the 1910s and 20s, during the era of Prohibition in the US, there were three industries here in Ketchikan. One of those was fishing, and this is a big salmon area at the end of the Tongass. The second was bootlegging, so the illegal shipment of alcohol from Canada, which is not too far away. And then the third was prostitution, and there were thought to be more brothels in Ketchikan than anywhere else in the US at the time. And one of the most famous prostitutes here was called Dolly Arthur, who established Dolly's House, which is the greenhouse that I showed you from my window, the one that you can just see in the frame here. So it started off Ketchikan as a frontier town. Very much a lawless place. Anything went. People would come here to make a fortune and leave with nothing, and the people that lived here had to be tough, because nothing came for free, hence why a lot of women set up brothels, because it was an easy way to make money when you had lots of people who'd come here. Lots of men had come here to make their fortune without their family. They'd left their family behind. They were lonely. They were making bits of money. They liked alcohol. They liked to party. And this is Dolly's house. And this is the slogan that was established in 1919. when she decided to set up her own illegal brothel. It's quite slippery today, it's icy, but a lot of these are the original wooden buildings that were first built here. It's now obviously a tourist attraction, and most of these are souvenir shops or museums. In 1920 was when this building was built, and the last official lady of the night here in Ketchikan was somebody called Beatrice Green. It was in 1954 when the government decided to stop the prostitution here, and a lot of the women then left, or they went underground. This particular woman, Beatrice, she managed to go underground and carried on her work for another 10 to 15 years apparently, and the authorities could never find her, or they could never find evidence of what she was doing. Some flies everywhere. This is the Creek Street, the most famous street in Ketchikan, and it loops all the way around from the main street where my hotel is located, all the way around to the other side of the main street. But this is Creek Street. It seems to be shut for the winter, a lot of these museums and restaurants and shops. So here we've got something called Married Man's Trail. So when people were coming to Ketchikan for some entertainment with the ladies, a lot of them were married. It was not ideal for them to be seen going into a brothel, so this wooden walkway gave them a chance to slip away in the darkness without being seen, hidden by the trees behind the river, behind the Creek Street, behind the town, and they would be able to slip away without being noticed. This was originally just a mud path. It wasn't a wooden walkway like this one, but people would come here, they would slip away, and from the river that you can see here, people would take boats from Canada and bring in big shipments of illegal bootlegged alcohol to take to the brothels. There'd be a wooden latch underneath the brothels, and they would be lifted up, the alcohol would be lifted up. So this wooden walkway leads all the way around Ketchikan. I'm also seeing signs that say beware of bear activity. I don't want to be eaten by a bear while I'm walking around Ketchikan, but we are in the heart of brown bear country here. It's the wrong time of year though, hopefully. There are also massive birds, giant black birds. So this is where the salmon would come into the creek area through this fish ladder. It is a very picturesque town. It's very cold and very icy. And very hilly, which is not the best combination, hills and ice. So the mountain you can see ahead, the big forested mountain, is called Deer Head Trail, or Deer Head Mountain. There's a trail that leads up to the top. I'm not going to try and attempt that in this icy cold weather, because I can either fall and get lost, or yeah, I don't want to do that, so I won't be attempting that this time. The first totem pole that I've seen since coming to Ketchikan. This is the Totem Heritage Centre. So each of the different elements of the totem pole represents something about the culture and the beliefs of the people. So apparently at the top you've got two human figures to represent Alaska Native sisterhood and brotherhood, an eagle to represent the federal government, a king salmon to represent salmon, the Alaska state flag represents Alaska Museum, and then three humans at the bottom to represent students and instructors in study of totem heritage. It doesn't open until 1 p.m. It's now 10:30 a.m. So I guess I'll have to come back, or there's another one about 2 miles walk away that I might go to instead. I just need to figure out how I get back to downtown now. Behind me is the fish hatchery, the Southern Southeast Regional Aquaculture Association, the Deer Mountain hatchery that grows salmon and releases them into the stream. Apparently it's shut for the winter. everything seems to be shut for the winter. So I guess now is not the right time to be in Ketchikan if you actually want to do anything. Let's walk down to the downtown area again and see if we can find something else to do. So it seems to be a theme that unless you want to do something like Northern Light tours or something, Alaska shuts down in winter for tourism. So for a place that doesn't seem to have much happening at this time of year, there seems to be a lot of boats and yachts moored up in the harbour here. So with the iconic Creek Street behind me here in Ketchikan, I think I'll draw this video to a close because I think I've done everything in about 3 hours this morning, or everything that's open. Would I recommend coming to Ketchikan? Yeah, maybe for a day or two, but come in the summer when things are open. Everything seems to be shut. It's a nice place to walk around, but when everything's shut and there's no tourists and not many locals around either, it does seem a little bit pointless. It's very picturesque though, so if you like nature and you're willing to walk a bit or drive, then you'll be right at home here. But tomorrow I get the final leg of the Alaska Milk Run down to Seattle. Then I've got a few videos from Seattle. So from Ketchikan and Creek Street, it is bye from me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment and stay tuned for the next couple of videos.